Game 4 between the Montreal Canadiens and Vegas Golden Knights gets going tonight from the Bell Center. That's Aaron Ward and Shane Kelly. I'm David Pagnotta. Our coverage brought to you by BitBuy, Canada's #1 cryptocurrency platform. And gentlemen, 9 times out of 10, the way that Vegas performed in Game 3, they win the game. But that 10th time, Montreal pulled out the W and are ahead 2-1. Wardo, does Vegas just kind of need to do what they did in Game 3 in order to get another W and tie this series?
Yeah, I think they have to get perspective on this. That if it weren't for the big mistake, honestly, to be walking out of this with the victory, it's a mental game. Pete DeBoer doesn't have to look at tactics. He doesn't have to look at his lineup and make changes. I think he has to inspire, and that's simple. He's put the onus on that locker room to figure something out and how to pick up Marc-Andre Fleury. He's a professional. I don't imagine he's going to come into this game having not yet parked what happened in Game 3. But it's an opportunity for DeBoer to get this team all on the same page, saying, step up for this guy. He's the main reason why we are here at this stage of the playoffs. Now let's do it for him.
Yeah, this series to me is looking a lot like some of the later games in the Toronto-Montreal series, where Toronto just totally carried the play, but Carey Price stole the game. And the same thing happened here. Vegas was over 60% possession, over 60% of the expected goals. They just ran all over Montreal in this game, but the big mistake.
Yeah, it cost them, and then a mistake in overtime led to a 2-0. Josh Anderson with the last 2 goals for the Canadiens, and they've got a 2-1 lead. Are we getting to a point where the Vegas Golden Knights, as much as they're throwing at the Montreal Canadiens, are we getting to the point where they need to get in Carey Price's face and maybe start shoving a little bit, getting a little bit more pressure there, frustrating him a little bit more? Do they need to be dangerous in the crease in order to get Price off his game?
Again, it's not tactics on the ice in terms of what your lineup matches are or whatever it is. I do believe there's a tactical change that has to come. Game 1 feel-out process is gone. You saw at the end of Game 2 that everybody rallied around Pacioretty, both on the Vegas side and the Montreal side, for positive and negative reasons. I think the saltiness has found its way into this series. So yeah, I think that they have to get their own dose of Gallagher, and what Gallagher's done to Fleury or Perry's done to Fleury, where you just stand in front of him too long, your stick happens to be in an area where it's not appreciated. All those things for Carey Price, because they haven't been successful at getting off his game. Here's the problem. Neither is the previous 2 teams. Right? Carey Price has been unflappable in that net. So when it's gone wrong, it's not gone wrong because someone's done something to Carey Price. Carey Price just hasn't been on the rarest of games. So good luck with that. If you figure out the secret success and whatever words will come out or actions will be shown that will get him off his game, there's a reason why he's the world's best goalie. But yeah, if I'm Vegas, I'm trying everything at this stage.
Yeah, I mean, it can't be news, right? That this is what teams are supposed to do now, is try to disrupt his rhythm. I just don't know that you can. To me, if I'm Vegas, the one question I might ask myself about Carey Price is, we are shelling that net every game. Is there a point at which, facing 60, 70 shot attempts a game is going to start to fatigue him, especially if these games, keep going to overtime? He's played a ton of hockey, and it's been very high event for the most part. So at some point, does that affect him?
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see if they can pull that off. The one change that happened last game for Vegas, and we'll end on this, was Tomas Nosek coming in. He was great at the dot, centering that third line, and that allowed Alex Tuch to go up with Max Pacioretty and Mark Stone. Are we going to, now that they got the 1 game under their belt, are we going to see them being a little bit more aggressive, Wardo, in this one tonight?
Yeah, I thought he was really good, actually. Nosek was really good. You heard him mentioned by the TV. Everything was going, and it seemed like Vegas didn't have that. We're trying to figure out exactly where we fall. So Tuch being up on the top line, I thought they were dominant. The tough part, though, is this entire team has to find some area of weakness for the Montreal Canadiens and expose it. Now, the problem is it's gifted to them. Montreal's taking enough penalties where you can get your opportunities, but Vegas has absolutely done nothing in terms of creating offense in the last game that is successful. And in fact, it kind of almost bit them in the rear end. Montreal is starting to get a little more, confident in the penalty kill. And it almost showed itself to be successful on their part with a near shorthanded goal. So Vegas has to look at this game and maybe make a readjustments only in special teams to figure out how you get that original shot by Weber, who seems to block the first one on every penalty kill, or how the forwards start to really pull guys out of position down low and take opportunities there, because nothing coming from the point seems to really be that threatening.
Yeah, I will say on Nosek, I don't know that DeBoer agrees with you. They actually, on minutes, he was the 4th line center the way that they were deployed. He was great on the draw, but they, lost the shot battle, lost the expected goals battle, that line. And I think he only played like 5 minutes of 5-on-5 or 6 minutes of 5-on-5. So yeah, he looked good in the circle, but that's one thing that in the analytics community you kind of highlight as maybe people overemphasize it. And I think actually DeBoer saw a worse game from Nozick than maybe the announcers and we saw.
Well, that's why you provide us with that information, Shane. Thank you for that. And gentlemen, we should be in for a good one tonight. Game 4 between the Vegas Golden Knights and Montreal Canadiens gets going at 8 p.m. Eastern.